have assembled here today to celebrate Chelsea and Meghan, and they are delighted. They are delighted that you are all here on their special day in Savannah, and they thank you for your participation on a day about promises that become permanent and friends that become family. Many people believe that entering into marriage is the final step in a romantic relationship.
You're really good.
Oh, you're mic'd up. Oh.
You want to marry me? That's good.
As they see it, a couple meets, they get to know each other, fall in love, decide they want to go through life together, and then take the final step, marriage.
Where'd you do this?
The final step of marriage is really the beginning. The beginning of a grand adventure. 3.5 years ago, Chelsea and Meghan connected when they bonded over soccer. And now, we are all here celebrating their commitment. Romantic relationships progress just like life, starting in infancy and finally reaching maturity. When life starts to actually happen, you learn a lot about who your partner is. Because it's not always rainbows and unicorns. But when you commit to someone, really commit, you have the opportunity to move through a patch of real life with someone. And when you do that, you learn a lot about the depths of that person. The depth of their kindness, the strength of their integrity, and the staying power of a sense of humor. That's how the bonds of marriage are truly formed. It is the amalgamation of big moments, like supporting each other through long and unexpected deployments. But also, just as importantly, it's the smaller moments together, like watching a rom-com on TV or camping and backpacking. The bonds are formed through the collection of mutual experiences that show you the person you are meant to be with. The one that you are bonded with is already right beside you. Marriage is about love and so much more. It's having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together and facing the world. It's not looking for perfection in each other. It is being a guiding light and a strong and supportive rock for each other. It's bringing out the best in each other. It is continuing to push each other to be their best self.
The father-daughter dance at any wedding is the hardest one for me to watch. The emotions, they pour through me, the happy, the sad, the proud, the broken, the connected, all of them kind of soar through me. And when Chelsea asked me whether or not she could do the father-daughter dance with her dad, she asked out of fear of hurting me or it being too hard for me because she knows. And I told her, you're lucky enough to have a dad to dance with, but also you're lucky enough to have a dad that loves and supports you the way that he does. You're gonna dance with him.
3.5 years ago, I knew it was you from the very first date in Annapolis, in the garden, when I gave you a lamb's ear to play with, because you were so nervous you couldn't look at me, and you were just fidgeting the entire time. I knew we needed each other, and I got my first glimpse at your gentle side that you always try to hide. And that's when we started growing our magical connection. This, amongst other things, sparked me getting on a plane to come see you after only 3 weeks. It didn't feel crazy to me at the time, because you were it. You always have been, and you always will be.
And I didn't just lose my dad 8 years ago. I lost him 8 years ago, basically this weekend. The one thing that I remember literally about this day is me, my brother, my sister, my mom, my brother's now wife, were sitting at a table and just kind of looked at each other and said, hey, if this is what our life is going to be from here on out, we have to make it perfect. we don't have a choice. Chelsea and I are now married 8 years later to the day that we kind of made a promise around the dinner table that we would fulfill. So I want to dance with my mom in honor of my dad.
One step, one word.
Chelsea, the second I saw you walk down those steps at Bancroft Hall, I knew you were going to be something special to me. It was that immediate feeling and connection that's only talked about in movies. But I didn't realize how special this would be until we made that bold move together to Charleston. Because before that happened, we took a long distance journey with our relationship that I wouldn't have traded for the world. We spent 1 year navigating that loyal journey before deciding to take a leap of faith and move in together.
"1,303 days ago, you took me to Tallulah Falls and asked me to be yours. On a day that began our streak of great weather, you set my soul free as we ran and jumped in every puddle as it absolutely poured on us. And for the first time in my life, I didn't care how I looked because I had you by my side."
And immediately upon getting to Charleston, you were thrown into one of the most grueling environments that the good old Navy could put you through. For every second you spent studying, you spent minutes on taking care of me. And for every minute you spent stressing about your next test, you spent hours on loving me. It was during that hard and challenging time where I could see our true connection. I realized in that moment that you were perfect for me and that we could take on the world.
On days when I'm sitting on the closet floor, hiding from the world, not wanting to do anything, you support me and get me out. You're the sweetest, most genuine person I know, and I still can't believe I get forever with you.
And you may seal your union with a kiss.
Who you looking at?